Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're going to play Mind Memory today, which is made by the same developers as Morse Academy, which I played a few days ago on my channel. Red is all I've seen for the past few years. I really liked Morse Academy's aesthetic. I don't remember the exact point in time, but slowly things started to change for me. For me it was puberty, and now I'm stuck in this endless cat and mouse game. But I don't know what I'm running from. I don't think I want to know. It's called the past and the future and all your worries. I can vaguely describe it though, just enough to get the basic outlines. And learning how to talk to girls, am I right? And it's red. It haunts me. Sometimes it comes out of nowhere. Other times it's like I was half expecting it. Is this like the Taylor Swift album? All I can say is that I can't keep going like this. I feel like something has just got to give sooner or later. You think your luck is running out? Buddy, I've never once in my life felt lucky. So no, yeah. Something like that. Oh, hey, are you listening? Big boss? Hannah. Sorry, I just zoned out for a moment. I had like a freaking existential crisis and everything. Yes, we're all very aware of you zoning out. In fact, you're fired over it. Remind me again why it seems like you're the only one in the company who can't even pretend to stay focused during such an important presentation. He's like, I know everybody else is just pretending, but like you can't even pretend. That's how bad you are. The office feels like a morgue as all the other workers stare at Hannah. Is it Hannah or Hannah? To be honest, you should be working twice as hard as everyone else, considering your background. Whoa, buddy. Let's not bring my freaking backstory into this. Like he's in any position to judge. I mean, he's the one that got his big break selling expired phone cards to gullible street kids. Hey man, a hustle's a hustle. You're right, I apologize. It won't happen again. I've heard that before. Anyway, back to the task at hand. We've been very fortunate to have received a list of confidential recipients of welfare and recent reparation payments by the government for the mine closures. Oh, is this related to the other game? No, they're not talking about out of all the possible places. Oh, god damn it, I just skipped over a whole paragraph. So they're the perfect opportunity for a loan. So I'm guessing it must be people who lost their jobs. The list is being passed around, so get calling. A few anecdotes here and there, and these cashed up losers will be signing up for our loans like it's nothing. You know the drill. Get a 10% cut of the loan as amounts as commission, as well as a cut of the loan repayments. But remember, if they default or run off without paying, that gets deducted from your total commission. Yeah, this seems like a very above board company. I can't. I am not okay. I'm not okay to take a stand. It's not a big deal. It's just that. Just what? I know this one might hit a little close to home for some of you, especially you, Hannah, but remember, money is money. This is the law of the jungle. Eat or be eaten. Concrete jungles, wet dreams are made up. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Not in front of everyone. Not in front of everyone. Not in... Why is this happening? Why did it have to be at... Enough, just get out of here. Hannah, where are you going? Buddy, do you want me to like explode in here or in the bathroom? Like you choose. Collections. Hannah leaves the office visibly flustered. The city buzzes around her. Renewable energy targets to be discussed in the next. Latest reports show a chilling effect through the... Something. Hannah arrives at CK's apartment, but he's not answering from the front entrance. Well, time to break in through the window. Can't wait to get this over and done with. CK is such a pain to deal with. Hannah barges through the main entrance and walks up the stair to CK's front door. Hey, motherfucker! Time to get killed. CK, come out. I know you're in there somewhere. Get down on your knees. It's the police. I'm going to find you anyway. Let's just make it easier for both of us. CK's like, whoa, what the heck? Is this freaking Peanuts all grown up? And by Peanuts, I know his name is Charlie Brown. Charlie Crown, am I right? The whole building is made from cheap materials, so Hannah easily breaks open the door? Oh, so this is how they get the money. Okay, I'm inside now. Cough it up. But please. So CK is one of her debtors. Or deadies. I think that's the correct phrase. What do you mean, please? Hurry up and get the money. Well, let me guess. You don't have it. No, I do have it. It's just, I don't want to give it to you. No, I'm just waiting for the payout. They don't process it until... Bullshit. So not only are you a worthless gambler, you're also a shameless liar. And you're bald too. Don't worry though, CK. We only do business with the likes of you anyway. It's our bread and butter. And my bread and butter is breaking knees. So, let's get down to business. Buttery business. Now, I know you have some money on you. Scum like you always have a bit left over that one get out of jail bet. Claude? It just can't be helped, Hannah. When you've been dragged and belted into a corner, sometimes you gotta fight. It's about dignity. Ugh. Dignity, huh? What does that mean to you? It means knowing when to cut your losses. I guess, yeah, that's a good way of describing it. It means not being a deadbeat. Speaking of which... So how much you got on you, be honest? I mean, what's more of a deadbeat? The people like this person or the people that prey on them? $80, it's all I got. It's every last penny I have. And you borrowed $500 from us. That amount barely even covers the interest, let alone the principal for this week's payment. Next week, I got a surefire payment coming in. Just let me go this time, just this once. We wouldn't be in business if we just let people like you off the hook each time, would we? Yeah, but... You know, I noticed a new pair of sneakers at the front door. How about I take that $80 and those sneakers as well, and as a reward for my generosity this time around, you'll pay me double next week. No, not my sneakers! They're Skechers! Not the sneakers. The sneakers are my little brother's. They were your little brother's. He's been saving up for them for weeks and working the garbage routes. Well, maybe his older brother shouldn't have been such a deadbeat and take a loan out from us. You can explain to him that having your hard work swept out from under you is a perk of having such a great brother like you. Anna, give it to me. It's not yours, it's ours. Oh, that sound you heard is my controller disconnecting. I know I'm useless. I know I'm a terrible brother, but please. I'm leaving and you lot can rot for all I care. Blood is thicker than water. Bullshit. Please, I swear I'll pay you double next time. Just don't take the shoes. Just take my brother instead. Okay, take the money and take the shoes. Just take the money. You know what? I'm just gonna take the money. Alright. Hand that over. Hannah snatches the $80 out of CK's hands. If you don't have the money next week, you're going to wish I took the sneakers. Wait, so you're not going to take the sneakers? Do you want me to take the sneakers or not, CK? Hannah barges out of the apartment, leaving the sneakers behind. Having finished the collection, Hannah decides to head home for the day. Hannah heads to the train station. The city bickers around her. The confrontations from earlier have drained her soul for the day, so she heads home. Oh my god, it took so long to load that I just clicked on the spacebar button, but it just went through the whole paragraph again. CK and now this mind closure stuff. I wonder if I'll recognize anyone on that list. Eat or be eaten, huh? The train station stinks of garbage and gasoline. You smell like sex and candy. The smell. I swear every time I step foot in here, I miss the clean country air more and more. Huh? Like, do you know what an ounce is? ... No, I'm not American. Yeah, yeah. No, I swear you don't. Like, you know, selling an ounce? I told you I do. Then what is it then? Like punching randoms on the street and making them go ounce? Oh my god. Aha, no it isn't, you fucking baby. Oh great, a bunch of try-hard street kids. If the smell wasn't enough, now we have the noises of these grating kids. Looks like everyone else is put off too. I feel sorry for their parents. And what do you mean? They obviously don't have parents. What are you staring at? Da 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 da. Yeah, that's what I thought. Keep walking, the lot of you. I know you're scared. I know for a fact they'll be the first ones to piss their pants and run if someone actually does confront them. Well, attack them then. You must be the kids of the protesters. Whoa, shit. Stop playing around here and go to school or you'll end up useless and bitter like your parents. The fuck did you say about my parents? Wait, what? What just happened? It is like my inner self coming out. I don't want. It's just the stupid kids, they're annoying. Talking tough and being a nuisance to everyone around them. Weren't you doing pretty much the same thing to CK earlier? No, I really was gonna steal his sneakers. You make it sound like there's something about them you can't let go. It's because they remind you of yourself. That's different. That's different. That's work. There's an apostrophe there, where it shouldn't be. It's how I make a living. Or maybe I'm just a future version of them. Nah, I'm nothing like them. I actually have a face, not like them. Oh, what is this feeling? It's called shame. Stop looking at me. Stop looking. What do you see in those eyes? In those elf eyes? Legolas. A little bit of me. And Dupree. Me? Ah, fuck. Why won't my mind just shut up? Same here, lady. I don't want to think about this. I don't want to think. Man, I've been there. Hannah turns pale and boards the train, staring straight down. For the rest of the train trip home, Hannah stays in the same mood. Dot 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 dot. Hannah finally arrives at the front steps of her apartment. The apartment is right next to one of the major roads into the city, so the sounds of cars echoes? The sounds of cars echoes. And the stench of fumes is noxious. I think there's... Is that sentence grammatically correct? Although the strays don't seem to mind. Hey, looking for some food? Psst, come over here, little doggy. Makima? Feed the dog, leave the dog alone. Obviously feed the dog, come on. Come over here, have some of my leftover lunch. Yes, that's a good dog. This is the face I make when I feed the dogs. Beautiful, innocent creatures, especially strays like those. More resilient than those annoying kids from earlier, and virtually any human for that matter. Hey, come back, I've got more. The stray runs away back to a dark alleyway. At the front door of Hannah's apartment are piles of letters bunched into her letterbox. They seem to be personal letters addressed specifically to her. How many fucking times do they need to send these things? They should take the hint already. I'm not going to your prom! Just leave me alone and let me live my life. Fuck your promposal. Letters from people that are close to me. But in reality, they don't give a shit. I wish they would. Dirty gamblers, boozers, freeloaders, the lot of them. They seem to care enough to be sending you lots of letters. Yeah, first off, sending you letters? This game might be sent in the past. Yeah, and that's just the letters. You know how many emails? Okay, never mind. What? They're sending letters when they have emails? And unsolicited phone calls I keep getting? Take the fucking hint. You're right, they're probably trying to take advantage of you. Just ignore it. You should open some of them. Maybe they're genuinely trying to reach out. Just leave them be. It's too much effort to deal with anyway. Hannah enters her apartment, the interior messy and chaotic as per usual. Despite the good money she makes at her job, she tries to save every penny. Leftover cans of beers, unclean plates litter the kitchen. However, there are clean and dirty areas in her apartment. For example, the balcony is spotless and clean. What a screwed up day. No matter though, booze and TV will do the trick. Hannah quickly drinks a can of beer, she opens another right afterwards. With the newly opened can in hand, she flips on the television with her feet. What? Holy shit, today's headline is the recent reparation decision handed down by the court. She must be a freaking gymnast or something. All mine workers that lost their livelihoods due to the closure by the previous administration. Oh, not more of this bullshit. Let me change the channel. The news is especially welcome for the residents of Karuga. The town came into the spotlight over a tragic mine collapse that caused the death of, "You bastards killed him. You killed him. You've got blood on your hands, you filthy pigs." Hannah's breathing starts to become more fast-paced. Her eyes fixate to the screen. The residents always claimed that the collapse was due to the lackluster maintenance of the mine by the operators. However, the operators claimed that the miners deliberately neglected it and sabotaged the facility so an accident would occur. I apologize for that reading right there. The operators argued that knowing the closure was imminent, the miners wanted some sort of incident they could exploit for more, quote, handouts and benefits. Of course, they stopped short of saying that they would sacrifice one of their own for such a purpose. Rather, it was the reckless actions of the miners that made these kinds of tragedies possible, and it was only a matter of time before something terrible happened. Nevertheless, such claims led to seething animosity from the miners, leading to even more violent protests than when the closures were initially announced. By the way, if you haven't seen my Morse Academy video, these mines closing is like the apocalypse. I don't want to. Fucking remember this shit. That's the I don't want to fucking remember this shit butterflies, by the way. Those bastards killed him. Those bastards ruined my family, everyone. They did this to us. I'm guessing a family member died? He died from injuries sustained from the collapse. After a nightmarish 48 hours for the family in hospital, he tragically succumbed to his injuries. Hannah, let's go. He's going to be okay, right? I don't know about that. He's a fighter. He's got this. We'll be back on the hill in no time. Hannah's breathing grows even more rapid and the world around her begins to warp. She can't breathe. The world is spinning as butterfly-like flashes spread across her vision. I'm going to die. Ambulance, I'm die. CLA, he'll be fine. Hannah continues to hyperventilate as her vision worsens to the point of almost being blinded. Hannah ultimately faints, falling from her chair. By the way, the reason why that took so long is because I wasn't sure if a dialogue was going to show up or not. Having badly hit her head on the cold tile flooring of her living room, Hannah begins to go in and out of consciousness. She starts to experience distorted flashbacks to memories she had been trying hard to forget. Many years ago. Oh, I like this picture. The golden rays of the sunset disperse through the clouds. The glowing setting sun casts its light across the vast paddocks and hills. A glaring reflection shines from the bustling metropolis standing on the horizon. Hannah! Claude, what are you doing here? I told you not to follow me around without saying anything. It's annoying. Sorry, it's just that I wanted to see what you were up to. Then just ask me. You know I'm always happy to have you tag along with my little adventures. Oh, Claude, you got like... you just put on a bunch of lipstick recently? Don't act that surprised. I'm pretty much your sister. I gotta show you the ropes of life. And the first lesson in life is don't creep around following girls. That is a pretty important lesson, guys. Especially if that girl happens to be your awesome cousin who does cool shit you wouldn't be able to handle. Okay, I'll do that next time. And stop calling me a scaredy cat. No, she called you a creep. There's a difference. Yeah, whatever, scaredy cat. Hey, I heard you and the other older kids went into the mine the other day. That's his mouth open, right? It's not lipstick. It does look like lipstick. It's kind of freaking me out. I heard you pretty much turned one of the maintenance rooms into your own hangout. That's why, okay, so he followed you into the mines and then the mines collapsed. Or it's gonna be like a Bridges to Terabithia sort of thing. Who told you about that? Mines of Terabithia. I think you know who. Oh my god, he's such a blabbermouth. But trust me, you're not missing out on much. The mine's a complete wreck. It stinks and everything's out of order. Plus, it's full of sand. And you know what we say about sand? Ever since they said they were going to close the mine, you know how since the protest, the mine has been pretty much untouched. I know, it still sounds pretty cool to check out though. Trust me, as I said earlier, it's a gross mess. Just like your face. It's just some spot to kill time and do dumb shit in this godforsaken town. You know, men find ways to kill time while time finds ways to kill men. I wish we could just leave this shithole. What do you mean? I mean, look at this view. I mean, yeah, look at it. It's disgusting. It's not cool or anything at all. See that city over there? That's Neo Tokyo 3. They call it the City of Dreams. People from all over the country, even kids like us, flock to the city for a better life. The bright and adventurous people from cesspit towns like Karuga go to the city. What's a cesspit? It's a pit full of cess, Claude. Keep up. Poop, Claude. Remember the smell of our street when the council couldn't afford to fix the sewage pipes? Anyway, Claude, if you're really not a scaredy cat, then you'll follow me on my grand plan. What's that? We're going to the city. We're gonna leave this hellhole behind and become super rich and super famous in the city. I've already implemented half of the plan. The first half is get $1 million. I've almost saved up enough for train tickets and a couple of weeks worth of rent. And you're coming with me. There's nothing good that's going to come from staying here, especially with a hothead dad like yours. Yeah, bunch of kids going into the city all alone, nothing bad can happen. It's a coup, a sister's duty to make sure her little brother gets to experience the best of life. Hannah, I can't leave, my soul is tied to this place. Hey, what are you crying for? It's because I wanted to run away too, I just never thought it would be possible. You always make the impossible seem so easy. You make it sound like leaving a crappy town isn't as simple as hopping on a train. Maybe it is. Anyway, take it you're on board with the plan then? I take it you're on board with the plan then? Yeah! Alright, maybe you're not as much of a scaredy cat as I thought. Making this plan work is going to take some more steps in planning, so let's make the spot our meeting and planning spot. Every few days I'll update you on the progress and maybe give you some tasks to make this plan work. Got it? Got it. I can't wait to leave here. We're gonna be like those butterflies over there. Oh no, that's the death flag. Gross, why are we gonna be like those things? Because we have we have wings, we can fly. Because we're gonna fly freely and light up the sky when we become famous, and all the stuff in this town will be behind us. We'll just fly away. He's like Forrest Gump, Claude. By the way, Jenny, people hate Jenny. She's a very misunderstood character, and she's probably the most tragic character in that movie. And people really hate her because apparently like she stood up Forrest Gump, right? Or led him on. I don't know if you know this, but she was kind of not in a good situation where somebody was taking advantage of her. And being with Forrest probably felt like she was taking advantage of him. So it's kind of like a fucked up situation all around. Anyway, stop with that butterfly stuff. You remind me of the lame stories I wrote when I was 7 years old in English class, aka 2 days ago. We're gonna be bright and undying like the sun. Yeah, well, I think butterflies are cooler than the sun. I like that the look of determination that they have when they say something funny. When they say something cute, we're going to be butterflies. That's the face I have when I feed the dogs. Yeah. Yeah, okay, whatever, butterfly boy. Holy shit. What a good insult. Rustling leaves and booming footsteps can be heard in the distance. Oh shit, it's a fucking gym leader. Get out your Pikachu. Claude, what are you doing up here? Hannah, you too. Oh my god, Cairo, leave us alone. Cairo, what do you mean leave you alone? Don't you know how dangerous it is to be away from town at this hour? Don't you know how dangerous it is to have a freaking forehead that high? Jesus Christ, you're gonna blind people as they walk around you. We're not little kids anymore, Cairo. I mean, all it is up here is some butterflies. And oh wait, butterflies and annoying assholes now that you're here. What the fuck did you just say? Say that again and you're getting a beating. Dad, what the hell? Oh yeah, beating up a girl. I'm sure that'll make you feel like a man. Ah, you're right. I shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have had that haircut, but, I mean, mistakes were made. You know, I didn't mean it. It's just my temper. I didn't mean to be an asshole. It's just that I'm an asshole, you know? Sorry. I'm just worried about you guys. Worried? Maybe you should worry about yourself first. Is that a threat? Spending all day protesting and making a mess of the town. Hey, the whole reason... I didn't press the spacebar there, by the way. Meanwhile, Claude has to wear worn-out shoes and dirty clothes. When are you going to move on, get a job, and start providing for your son, huh? If our movement succeeds, the mines will be reopened, and I'll be back to earning like I used to. If not, they'll be giving us in the town a huge paycheck to ensure we can continue to survive. There was a town in... I don't know if it was specifically coal mines, but there was a town where they started teaching the coal miners to code, which I thought was really cool. It just takes time, and the protests are key to making sure our goals are achieved. Because, like, if you're a coal miner, your skills aren't really, you know, transferable. But if you have a bunch of coders, that's pretty good for the city. I don't know what came to be of that project. But hopefully, like, it actually led to somewhere. You've been saying that for the past year and nothing has happened. I know. That's part of the plan. Not doing anything. But I feel like the progress we've made means something. Not just for us, but for struggling workers across the world. Sigh. It's like you're in a cult. You will realize when you're older that being cynical about everything and belittling others does nothing good for you or anyone around you. Okay, Cairo, you're trying to act all like, you know, wise and stuff, and you might feel frustrated that you lost your job, but at the same time, you really did threaten a girl, like a teenager or something, I think, and beat her up, especially those important to you. Make it sound like there's no basis for what I'm saying. How about you look at some of the drawings Claude made recently? Yeah, don't look at my drawings. Claude, is that... I didn't know it was affecting you this way. Was that the drawing he made? Hannah, these drawings... Oh, okay, never mind. That's why I'm showing you. I don't want Claude to go through what I did. Some of it was unavoidable, but it could have been much easier to cope with if someone had... I know, I should have done more. I am your uncle after all. I don't want to remember all of these things. All of these regrets. Look, you guys, I know with everything that's been happening, I haven't been able to play the role I need to play in both your lives. Okay, freaking self-reflection, Cairo. As a father and an uncle, I've made a lot of mistakes. And as a, you know, a man. And as a icon of fashion as well. And I continue to make them. Buddy, as long as you have that hairstyle, you will always be continuing to make mistakes. But just remember that searching for you two today, it's just me, I guess, trying to make up for the things I forgot to do before. Just remember that me doing the bare minimum is just me trying to make up for not doing the bare minimum before. And maybe it makes me overdo things sometimes. I know you're growing up so quickly and hanging out up here isn't something to be too concerned about. What is this guy's deal? He like, I promise to do better. He came up here freaking like on site, right? And then all of a sudden he's like, man, I really failed as a father and an uncle. I promise to do better. Like, what the hell is on with this guy? Let me start with, how about we have a family dinner tonight? Oh shit, do not eat the family dinner. It's poisoned with mushrooms. I'm sure you guys have gotten sick of canned pork and beans. I'll borrow some money somehow and you guys can get your favorite foods. Really? Yeah. Get Cairo to get what you want, Claude. You're still growing, don't worry about me. You're still growing too, Hana. Why does that seem so creepy saying that? I don't know what I want to eat though. So much to choose from. Well, keep thinking and tell me later tonight. In the meantime, you two come with me. Let's head back home. There's like an age where if you tell a kid like they're still growing, it becomes creepy. Is that just me? Or am I like going crazy? The three of them walk back to town. Later that night, Karuga Mine, main sites. Cleaning up some mess kids made earlier. I swear they don't pay us enough for this. B word. Crying voices are heard in the distance. Claude, why are you crying? Dad didn't show up. He said there was an urgent protest. I'm hungry. I know it's like supposed to be like a look of pain, but it looks like he's like, hell yeah, I'm hungry. I'm so tired of this too. I hate this. Listen, Claude, I feel like this is a sign for us. It's not the first time Cairo's broken promises to us. But remember, we have our plan. If we just follow the plan, we can put this behind us. Put all the hurt behind us. Yeah, I'm sick of being a scaredy cat. I'm sick of having you help me all the time. Claude, listen. It's my job, you're only a kid. And trust me, you're not a scaredy cat. I'm just joking. Isn't this lady also just a kid? She doesn't look that much older than him. You're tougher than I was at your age. Remember that. Okay, Kargwa Township. Open the mines. We will never be divided. Open the mines. We yearn for them. You'll never take our mine away. Step back. I repeat, step back. Stop resisting. Oh, Claude is probably going to die here. As the protest escalates into the night, a chill spreads across the town. Oh shit. Karuga Mine main site. What was that? There's been an explosion at the mine. The mine collapsed. They said there might be people inside. Did they take down the mine because they wanted to like advance the protest, but they didn't know that Claude was in there? Along with rescue workers, they dig through the rubble to save anyone possibly trapped inside. A sense of doom overtakes everyone in the town. Within the chaos, rumors start to spread. They say they have reason to believe people are still inside. They say it's probably those teenagers who turned the mine into a hangout. Really, I might know them. Either way, I really hope it's not one of our own. Please don't let it be one of our own. After a few hours, a full-scale rescue operation is underway at the mine. Suddenly, a siren blares. Rescue workers on the south side of the mine shout for more help. Someone notices Cairo, who is in the process of carrying gear to the west entrance of the mine. The person trapped, it's Claude. Oh shit. Cairo drops everything and stares at the ground. Knowing the extent of the damage, it's almost as if he realizes how grave the situation is. After a brief moment, he says nothing and rushes toward the south side of the mine. Meanwhile, a televised broadcast can be heard faintly in the background. 10-year-old boy rescued, condition critical. I'm not a scaredy cat anymore. Did Claude make the mine explode? Cairo and Hannah rush to the hospital. Both of them are speechless. Their expressions make them look like ghosts. The entire town is dark and somber as the news spread. Guilt, anger, and most of all, hopelessness filled the air. Hannah, I've pronounced her name like 3 different ways already. Stands silently in the hospital hallway, the sound of the hospital echo on and on. Claude remains in critical condition. He has burns covering 10% of his body. He is also suffering from multiple fractures and extensive bruising. Most concerning is the possibility of an acute toxic reaction that might occur due to prolonged compression of his body. Wait, what? Is that a thing? All Claude can do is move his eyes a little or wriggle a couple of fingers. After being stabilized, close family members are allowed to see him. The news is a huge relief at the time. However, there is something about Claude's expression that seems off. We don't know whether his lips are full of lipstick or not, as if he knows there's something that needs to be said, something he has to get off his chest. Claude, we're going to get through this, okay? You're going to be fine, just like usual. Just like usual? You mean this usually happens? Claude can't respond verbally. He simply stares intently at Hannah for minutes while Hannah looks back crying. After what seems like an eternity, he slowly lifts his fingers. He points to a butterfly mural on the wall using what seems to be the last of his strength. The vibrant mural depicts a butterfly, one of many colorful and cheerful images scattered throughout the intensive care unit of the children's hospital. Out of all the animals and creatures drawn on the walls, Claude points directly at the butterfly. Hannah watches, unsure of what to make of the gesture. What do you mean, Hannah? That's his last will and testament. Moments after pointing at the butterfly, Claude shifts his gaze towards the ceiling, his eyes beginning to drift aimlessly. All he wanted to do was just fly, man. Claude dies a minute later. An undetected blood clot ruptures in his brain, a result of being trapped under debris for hours. The emptiness Hannah feels in that moment is one she believes she will never recover from. It is as though a part of her has died with Claude, leaving only a hollow shell for the remnants of her soul to occupy. A few days later. Historic amounts of rain poured through the township following Claude's death. As the funeral took place, the entire crew of miners and their families looked like walking corpses. Extensive investigations were launched at the mine. Authorities from across the country arrived to ensure the truth was uncovered. The news of Claude's death had taken the country by storm, and the media sensationalized it to the point that it was discussed daily. Who needed to take responsibility became the primary question on everyone's minds. However, all the chatter in the greater public was just static to Hannah. At the funeral, all she could do was stare at Claude's tombstone. It felt like the world had warped into a living nightmare. But unlike most nightmares, which involve panic, fear, and intense emotions, this was different. For Hannah, it was a deep nothingness. Even the most brutal night terror couldn't make her feel an inch of emotion. During this time, Cairo's presence was volatile. Since learning Claude was in critical condition, he had started drinking copious amounts of liquor. Many speculated that Claude's death was something Cairo still hadn't fully comprehended. The news that Claude was critically injured alone had been enough to throw him into the abyss, an abyss he didn't want to leave. Even during the funeral, Cairo couldn't stop holding a flask in his hand the entire time. The many mourners offered heartfelt condolences, but he didn't react at all, a living corpse. As the days went by, the media circus began to fire up. Soon, in place of sympathy and sadness, came intense anger and a thirst for justice. Not only were the operators of the mine in the firing line, but so was Cairo. Why wasn't he with his child on the night of the protest? Was this gross negligence? Was it the mine operator's responsibility to look after the children of its employees? The mine operators quickly seized the narrative, implying that the miners' reckless actions had contributed to the tragedy. While they didn't directly blame them for Claude's death, they strongly suggested it was partially their fault. They also insinuated that Cairo had neglected his duties as a father, prioritizing the protest over his son's well-being. This wave of criticism jolted Cairo out of his alcoholic haze. But what emerged was not the Cairo of before. It was as if a demon had taken his place. A natural manifestation of anger, denial, and sorrow. Emotions pushed beyond what the human psyche could bear. It marked the beginning of a downward spiral with no end in sight. What are you looking at? Yeah, keep walking, loser. Cairo became notorious for picking fights with random people throughout the town. I'll take any of you. You're all scum. I'll beat the living shit out of you. Meanwhile, Hannah was left completely isolated. The only real parental figure in her life had turned into a monster. Fuck all of you. The entire atmosphere left Hannah trapped in a corner, unsure of what to do. Her parents were entirely disconnected from the situation, and from her life as they had been for the past 5 years. Holy what? Their days were consumed by alcohol and violence. All they did was keep a roof over her head and provide canned food for her to eat. It was all reaching a boiling point for Hannah. She knew that if she stayed, she would become a monster like Cairo. But deep down, she suspected that she already was one. Okay, this story is a lot more, tragic than Morse Academy. Regardless, she packed up everything she had. With the little money she'd saved, she left for the city. The path ahead consisted of years of struggle and poverty. Hannah had to do whatever she could to survive, which eventually led her to the loan sharking business. Give me the money or I'm kicking your head in. You think I won't do worse? Slowly but surely, the Hannah before was being overtaken by something else. Soon, everything that had happened to Claude began to feel like it never happened, but a part of her would never forget. Present day. Is that me? After her episode, Hannah eventually musters the strength to crawl to her bed and fall asleep. This wasn't the first time she'd had an episode like this and needed to rest. After an hour or so, the doorbell rings. Hannah begrudgingly gets up and walks to the door. She looks through the peephole. Is that CK? Oh, it's Cairo. It's been years. Could it really be him? Hannah's repression of the events in her hometown has made it hard for her to recognize faces and objects associated with her trauma. Pictures of her family, old school photos, they all appear distorted and obscured when she looks at them. If she stares for too long, a panic sets in. Hannah looks through the people again quietly. Though the figure is blurred, she can just tell it's Cairo. He looks battered and tired. It's clear he hasn't been taking care of himself. Should I open it? Maybe it's better to leave the past in the past. I don't want to revisit all that stuff anymore. I moved on, but how did he find me? Maybe it doesn't matter. Should I answer the door? This might be a chance to well, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna answer the door. This might be a chance to face my demons. I mean, he has a sick scar. Cairo looks stunned, but then an overwhelming sense of relief washes over his face. He looks like he was smug as fuck, tears beginning to well up in his eyes as he intently looks at Hannah. Hannah, you're alive. I mean, at least he fixed his hair. Why isn't anything coming out of my mouth? Yeah, like spit. I've been looking for you for years. Haven't you noticed all the mail I've sent you? Something clicks within Hannah. It's as if she's ready to slip into the role of her younger, more innocent self. But just as that feeling starts to take hold, a wall comes crashing down in her mind. Excuse me. Oh, those letters were from you, huh? Well, it looks like you found me. I assume you want to talk, so come inside. Cairo, a bit bewildered, seems to understand Hannah's cold response. They head towards the living room. Cairo notices the mess caused by Hannah's earlier episode. Oh, don't worry about that. Just tripped over a power cord. I would have tidied up if I knew I was having guests. I see. I mean, look at the mess. 2 cups on the table? Jesus. Anyway, make yourself at home. Want a drink, a snack? Watashi? No, that's... Why did I say that? That's so fucked up, man. I apologize. I'm alright, thanks. I thought it would be funny, but then I realized the connotations. And I'm like, suit yourself. I figured maybe you'd want a beer or 2. I mean, last I remember you were chugging cheap vodka like it was nothing. Cairo doesn't react to Hannah's word. He looks as though he had expected her reaction. He slowly takes a photograph out of his pocket and places it on the table. This is a photo of you when you were younger. These past years I've been going to every sector in the city asking if anyone had seen you. I didn't think today would finally be the day I'd find you. And I've been worried sick, I know that. Worried about what? There's nothing to worry about. I mean, that's a whole lot of work you did for nothing. Unlike some people, I actually have a job. I actually got my shit together. I'm earning, I'm independent, and I'm no burden on anyone. With that alone, I'm leagues ahead of anyone back home. I mean, look at this apartment. It's not much, but I bought it myself in cash. Yep, no handouts for me. No drinking away my problems, not being a burden to anyone at all. So as I said earlier, there's nothing to worry about with me. Cairo leans back in the chair and looks straight at Hannah. Initially, Hannah takes a step back defensively until she notices a somber kindness in Cairo's eyes. If Claude were here, he would be so proud of you. So the butterflies represent Claude. The sudden mention of Claude causes Hannah to freeze. The notion that he would be proud of her sends a wave of emotion through her mind. Up until this point, Claude had been a subject Hannah avoided entirely. And it might not mean much, but I'm also proud of you. Okay? I guess thanks. I know things have been tough for you. I mean real tough. Everything that happened, all the darkness, the tragedy. And I know that you're all alone in it. I should have been there for you. I could have done so much more. I should have done so much more, but I did the opposite. It's only these past few years hitting a rock bottom I didn't even know existed that I've realized that. Cairo points to a large scar on his cheek. He also reveals a set of burns on his arms. Where and how they came about he doesn't elaborate. It involves a sick ass fight. Hannah, still perplexed and shocked, doesn't know what to make of the moment. It's been a long time coming, but it's time I say this to you, Hannah. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry for everything. Cairo's blatant apology triggers something violent in Hannah's mind. Her earlier perplexity turns into raw blood-boiling rage. I apologize, but I couldn't read perplexity. That word perplexed me. She tries her best to contain it. For now, she holds it together, barely. Don't apologize, it's not your fault. Please don't talk that way. It's the management behind the mine, the operators. It'll always be their fault. And I know I might have been a bit harsh earlier. Whatever happened back at home, its root cause will always be the operators. I know some people find it harder to deal with tragedy than others. Look, Hannah, I understand where you're coming from, but you gotta understand that... Well, let me show you something instead. It took me almost 3 years after Claude's death to even go into his room. When I eventually did, I felt like it's hard to put into words, so just have a look. It's the reason I'm here today, the reason I'm alive and looking for you. Cairo takes out a worn notebook and flips it open. It's Claude's diary. Cairo carefully goes through each page, showing Hannah. Hannah's earlier rage subsides as she becomes immersed in the diary. Cairo shows countless drawings Claude made, almost all of them featuring Hannah. The drawings depict them as superheroes, movie stars, or driving huge bulldozers in the middle of the city. The diary entries are odes to Claude's hopes of leaving the town with Hannah. The sheer extent of Claude's admiration for Hannah is on full display. Hannah is left speechless. As Hannah takes a few moments to process Claude's diary, a chill runs down her spine. Something isn't right, something is very wrong. The emotions from earlier, the blood-curdling anger and despair, begin to resurface. And this time, Hannah doesn't think she'll be able to contain them. You see, Hannah, it's this notebook that finally made me realize that it's such bullshit. He should have never died, he should have never. The mine operators, the smug management, I can't. I'll never forgive those bastards. They killed Claude, they fucking killed him. I'll never forgive them, I want to fucking kill them all. All my pain, it's all their fault. All our pain, it's all their fault. Hannah, please stop. Stop it. Please stop torturing yourself like this. I can't stand to see you in so much pain. Stop, what do you mean? I've got 10 more bottles. How deluded do you have to be how deluded do you have to be to not be angry like this? It's your own son, my family. Where's your rage? Cairo abruptly gets up from his seat and puts his hand on Hannah's shoulders. He stares deeply into her eyes as if he's about to tell her something he's been holding on to for years. Hannah, listen to me carefully. Calm down for a minute. Hannah, I forgive you. I know it was an accident. I forgive you. Hmm. Forgive me for what? Was it Hannah that caused Claude to die? Hannah, are you alright? I can't breathe. I'm going to die. Hannah, relax. I know what you're going through. Here, hold on to my hand. I went through this countless times after Claude too. So this was why your room was a mess earlier. Never mind that. Just hold on to my arm and loosen up as much as you can. Cairo gently guides Hannah to slow her breathing and calm down. He quickly grabs one of Claude's drawings of Hannah from the table and puts it in front of her. That's probably not the best thing to do at the moment. Like, maybe when she's calmed down a little bit. Look, Hannah, you meant the world to Claude. And he was right to feel that way. You were his protector, his mentor. And look at what you've been able to achieve all on your own. He was right. You're a fighter, Hannah. How could I not forgive someone so brave? Of course I can. Stop tensing up again. Listen, all is forgiven. The light I saw in Claude's eye is the same light I've always seen in yours, Hannah. A light so bright and powerful, a light that would have done anything to save Claude. Hannah's panic starts to dissipate finally. I know what happened on that day. I know it was just a freak accident. It was? You might have not realized, but I had caught on to you and Claude's plan to leave for the city. I knew that as a teenager, I would have been prone to doing something rash to fulfill a plan like that. I was aware of you and your friends hanging out inside the mines, ignoring our warnings. And I also knew just how fragile and dangerous the mine had become. After all, it hadn't been operational for months. I knew that if someone wanted to make it collapse, it wouldn't be difficult, especially if they were familiar with the inside. That's the reason why I was following you guys around so much. I didn't want you to get hurt or do something dangerous inside the mine. Of course, that was only when I had time away from organizing and attending the protest. I now know that prioritizing the protest over you two was one of the reasons why that happened. Why what happened. I broke Claude's trust with my broken promises and my absence for too long. So did Hannah destroy the mine? And that fateful night was the final straw. Cairo. When I rushed to the mine site, I saw you were one of the first on the scene. You were already digging through the rubble when I arrived. At the time, no one knew if anyone was inside. But you were frantically searching as if you knew it was someone important to you. Later, I overheard you talking to Claude in the hospital. It was just you two in the room alone. I'm so sorry, Claude. I didn't know. I told you not to follow me. Please wake up, please. It was then when it all clicked. I knew Claude always followed you, often without you realizing, and that night was no exception. It was dark, emotions were high, and Claude was getting better and better at sneaking around without you noticing. There's no way you would have noticed them. And when the government's report on the accident came out, it confirmed my suspicions. The report stated the cause was likely an act of vandalism, done in a highly irregular and amateur fashion. Of course, it didn't pin the blame on us, or the operators either for that matter. But putting it all together, I knew it had to be you, Hannah. After seeing that I let Claude down yet again, I could tell you had enough. I realized that the night was you were going to shut the mine down for good, to force an end to countless months of protest and instability, to finally realize you and Claude's dream of moving to somewhere better. You knew all this time? Yes, Hannah. I won't lie, I was stricken with an all-consuming rage for a while. I'm sure you remember very well how I spiraled out of control. But that anger wasn't solely directed at you, Hannah. It was also myself, right? Yeah, it was directed at everything. The entire situation, the hopelessness of it all. The lack of control I had, the regrets I carried. It turned me into a monster. It took me years to climb out of that hole. And believe me, I paid the price for that time in my life. I learned a lot of lessons the hard way, things I'll probably never be forgiven for. It all started to change when I finally went into Claude's room, and I saw all of his drawings, his hopes, his dreams. But most importantly, I saw you, Hannah, in his notebook. That's when I realized that Claude lives through you, Hannah, and that to make things right, I needed to find you. I needed to find you and make things right. Knowing how much you loved Claude, I know you were living a life of torture and misery, clinging to all that guilt. I couldn't stand the thought of it, and that's why I spent years looking for you. Cairo, I'm sorry. If it weren't for me, Claude would still be here. I'm so sorry. Cairo embraces Hannah. I forgive you, Hannah. It's okay now. Hannah continues to sob. With each teardrop, it feels as though a small dent is being made in the fortified and distorted walls of her mind. Do you really forgive me? Puts her in a chokehold, freaking kills her right then and there. Yes, Hannah. Are you sure? I'm sorry for ruining the mood, but yes, Hannah. I forgive you. Slowly but surely, Hannah feels as though a huge weight has been lifted off her shoulders. She experiences a mental clarity, a purity she had thought she'd never feel again. After reconciling, they chat throughout the night until dawn. To her surprise, Hannah notices the distortions that had plagued her for years are beginning to fade. Cairo starts to look like how she remembered him before the accident. Oh no, not that! However, Hannah also knows there's still a long road of recovery and self-discovery ahead of her to truly find peace. But at least now she can look toward the future with open eyes. I feel like a new person, as if I've been given a second chance. But this doesn't change the fact that there's still a lot of unfinished business. Cairo, there's still a lot of things you don't know about me. Like, I have psychic powers. Especially how I make a living, how I've been surviving out here. Okay, sorry, I just had to take like a quick break for my voice. Because I've been reading for like an hour straight. Don't apologize for surviving, Hannah. I know, but it's not that simple. I feel like I've neglected my family back at home, abandoning them for so long. Yeah, she does have parents, right? At the same time, though, I feel like I have a duty to let the truth be known. Nobody has taken responsibility for the mine accident. There's been no closure. But I know if I come clean about everything that happened, it'll damage the reputation of our family and the other miners back at home. It'll cement the fact that the mining operators weren't to blame for the accident, and all the ramifications that may have. I know what you mean, but remember, the accident was just the climax of a long history of neglect and exploitation by the operators. There's a reason why a young kid can make it all collapse. The mine wasn't properly maintained, safety violations were through the roof. I know, but the truth is the truth. I made it collapse, and regardless of the history, there's a duty to come clean. You don't have to do all that, Hannah. We can just move on from all of this. Sorry, I had to take a little water break. Start a new chapter. Forget the miners back at home. Forget coming clean to the authorities. I mean, I understand Hannah wanting to do this like for her own guilty conscience, but at the same time though, it's like, yeah, actually, let's just let it go. We can finally rekindle our relationship and make Claude proud by being the best versions of ourselves, fulfilling his wish of living a better life. It's about letting go, forgiving and letting go. Moving on, huh? It does sound nice to finally start a life without all this anguish. I could quit my job and do something helpful for this rotten society. Maybe I could go back to school. Maybe I could work toward preventing what happened to us from ever happening again. But the family, the miners, and what about the truth? This incident will never be put to rest without someone coming out and saying what really happened. Why the asterisks there? Sometimes there are no right answers, Hannah. But this is your decision to make. I'll support you no matter what. I know you'll do what you think is best. I mean, you gots to, right? Let me just save this real quick. Confess to family, confess to the police. Confess to the family. I mean, technically I've already confessed to the only person that really cares, right? Because my parents didn't really care. Let's confess to the family. Hannah decides to return to her hometown, determined to face her past and the consequences of her actions. She knows she needs to confess to her family that she was behind the mine accident. He catches the night train back to her hometown, arriving at dawn. Everyone gathers to welcome her, having not seen her for years. Once the initial pleasantries are over, a serious discussion begins. Hannah starts by reiterating the importance of family and expressing deep regret for losing touch with everyone since the accident. I know I've been gone for like years, but like, okay, family comes first. By the way, I killed my cousin. She explains that her decision to cut contact was entirely related to the accident. From there, she mentions that there's something about the accident she needs to confess. She admits her role in triggering the mine collapse, going into great detail about the reasons behind it. The room falls into complete silence as she speaks. Once she finishes, some storm out of the house immediately while others stand frozen in disbelief. Cairo watches everyone closely, ready to protect Hannah if anyone acts rashly. After giving the family some time to process, Cairo steps in to share his perspective. He explains his own role in the events and recounts how he was able to reconnect with Hannah. The initial shock and disbelief begin to soften, but the tension remains thick. It takes a few days for everyone to process the confession. Gradually, the family starts to focus more on the broader context of the accident, the mine operators, their negligence, and their greed. The narrative within the family began to shift away from blaming Hannah. Hannah was pushed into a corner. She was young and made mistakes, but her heart was in the right place. She was also a miner. So this would never have happened if the operators had kept the mine safe and operational. The family, except for Cairo and Hannah, decide to pin the entirety of the blame on the mine operators, and in doing so rekindle their relationship with Hannah. I mean, it seems pretty good. Within the family's evolving narrative, Hannah becomes a tragic heroine, and Claude is remembered as a martyr who died striving for a future free from the oppression of the mine operators. As these new family stories take shape, an old familial hatred toward the mine operators is reignited. The family agrees to keep truth of the incident a closely guarded secret. At the same time, they decide to restart the protests. Even though the mine has been closed for years, the protests are reignited with a resounding cry for the operators to take responsibility for the accident. In the face of the chaos, Hannah distances herself once again. She's relieved to see Cairo also stepping away from the renewed turmoil. Hannah feels a great sense of relief after telling the truth, however, a deep melancholy sets in. Has she simply restarted the same cycle from years ago? Is she responsible for any new pain and trauma within her family because of her confession? Maybe this pain is necessary for justice. Maybe fighting the good fight is better than standing for nothing at all. But what would justice even look like for a situation like this? These questions linger in Hannah's mind. But before they're allowed to fester and corrupt her, she's finally able to confide in someone else, Cairo. Although Cairo doesn't have definitive answers, having someone to talk to brings Hannah a profound sense of relief. That is true. Whenever you have like a really deep emotion, just talking to someone and like saying it means a lot. For the first time, she feels like she has someone she can trust. Someone who truly understands struggle and what she's been through. Since they're back home, Hannah and Cairo decide to visit Claude's grave together. As the light shines in the distance, they pay their respects to Claude. Standing by his grave, Hannah feels a measure of peace about her decision to confess. Though the recent developments within her family trouble her, visiting Claude's grave strengthens her resolve. Hannah realizes that to honor the bond she had with Claude, she must also respect the bond she has with the rest of her family. And the first step in doing that was coming clean. Without trust, there's no point in calling each other family, whatever the cost of that trust may be. Alright. Well, this was definitely a lot darker than Morse Academy. But they have mines closing in common, which makes me think that the person who made this had had like a family member who worked in the mines, and then like the mines closed, and then they probably didn't have such a good life after that. But like other than that, like pretty interesting. I do like the effects in the Morse Academy more, just because they were actually like, you know, animated. Versus here where they were mostly still images. But I did like the aesthetic. I do like I like this atmosphere. And I think that Morse Academy had like a better ending. But this one was like really like, you know, wholesome ending. But maybe I chose like the worst ending. Maybe the worst good ending, if you know what I mean. Just because it ended like really like without conflicts, which I guess is not always a bad thing in real life, but like in a story, I feel you need some conflict in a story. But other than that, like if you made it this far, if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. Other than that, like if you've made it this far, I appreciate it more so I can subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you all on the flip side. Bye.